Time now for the Staci and Hutch Say Too Much podcast.
Hide the children.
Where, you guessed it, the dynamic afternoon duo say way too much.
I won't shave armpits. Does it hurt when it grows back?
If there's any ingrown situations,
Yeah.
that can be very painful.
No, seriously, that was way too much.
Pit stains. I think they're sexy in certain situations.
So if you're still listening, here they are to start the pod.
Why, I never.
Staci and Hutch.
Well, special guest today. Never thought this would happen in my entire life. Ric Flair, wrestling superstar, legend, jet flying. I could go the list for Ric forever, but we should say Golden Valley native Ric Flair. Minneapolis, huh?
St. Louis Park, then Golden Valley,
Okay.
then Edina.
And so your parents lived here and you grew up here, going to school here and just
Did that? You went to high school in Wisconsin.
Oh,
Wow.
really?
At a boarding school.
But that's right.
Had
Yeah.
some issues at Lake Calhoun one day. Going to put me. I can't remember the name of the place, but they decided I needed a private education.
Pack your bags, put your name in your underpants.
Yeah.
We don't have much time with you, but man, there's just a lot to talk
I got all
about.
day. Go ahead.
Do you? Yeah, you got a lot. Here's the thing with your career is not many people survive the wrestling industry, whether it's sadly because of death or injuries, but you've been able to take your career and really mold and adapt throughout the different lifestyles of what the career has become, whether it's social media, whether it's just the
Hate that word, but
you do hate social media?
I can't stand it.
Really?
It is a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, I have a hard time keeping up with all the changes.
Just the word alleged can kill you.
Well, it does. Yeah.
It's the truth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you make a
We're
mistake.
alleged, you're guilty.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Allegedly,
You're
this
guilty.
happened.
They give you a break.
I mean, you survived so much in your career, the plane crash and the injuries and all that. What do you
Mhm.
attribute to you staying in this career long enough? I mean, I think you're longer than Hogan, but
Oh yeah,
You too.
I'm 5 years older than Hogan.
okay. And so what do you attribute that to, staying in this career for so long?
I don't know. There's only one answer, right up there.
Yeah. He's looking down on you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to believe that. I mean, I don't talk about it openly. I don't go around and
Yeah.
preach or anything else, but I definitely believe. Absolutely,
You believe in miracles?
I believe in miracles too.
Yeah.
Now you're looking at one.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Yeah, because I had 5% chance to live in 2017. That's a miracle.
And here you are.
There I am.
And you've married so many beautiful women.
A few.
Did they give you those health problems? Was that
A couple of them did.
Speaking of beautiful
One
women,
went to jail.
your,
I still had to pay her.
your
Tell me
daughter,
how that worked.
yeah, right?
your daughter is in the business, and
Yeah.
she's so beautiful
Oh,
and
thank you.
so strong. Those
So talented,
abs.
Yeah.
So, did you give her much advice for the business?
I really didn't.
No?
I said, why do you want to do this? To be honest with you, it's hard. It's hard. Even today, like when in the old days, we were 365 twice on Saturday, twice on Sunday. The reason I didn't stay married very long, because I was never home. I didn't go home sometimes for 6 months at a time.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
6 months at a time when I was a world champion.
How,
I was over in Asia, Japan, New Zealand, Australia, and you just don't fly back to Charlotte for a day and then go. Does that make
Right.
sense to you?
Yeah.
it
that
does.
makes sense.
How do you navigate that though? I'm a divorced dad.
When the first time I went home, I didn't even know my wife.
Wow.
I said, "Who are you? And how come we got 3 maids
Yeah.
and 11,000 square foot home,
Oh,
and
yeah.
all we do is live in the kitchen? And why is all the mail stacked up here?"
How do you, as a dad, navigate that world of having kids and trying to? Because sometimes I feel like this. I don't get to see my kids as much as I would like to,
Mhm.
and sometimes I do feel that I am just supporting them. You know, there are
Mhm.
times where I'm going through. I don't feel like their dad some days.
You
I
feel
don't
like
get
the
to
guy
see 'em as
writing the
much.
check.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't want to feel that way. How did you navigate that whole life of being the provider?
You just have to deal with the. I mean, I would call my kids on a payphone.
Yeah.
There was no cell phones back then. I
Yeah.
would call them on a payphone in the arena every night.
That's a bummer.
Do you think it affected them?
Not
And
every night, but
did it affect them growing up? You look at the success of Charlotte. where she is. But I'm sure she had.
No, I saw a lot of Charlotte and a lot of Reed. I'm talking about my older kids.
Oh, your older kids.
Yeah, there's 12 years difference.
Okay.
In range.
Okay.
Those are the ones that lived up here. See,
That was hard.
When I got divorced initially from the woman I originally married from here, from St. Paul, Leslie Goodman. We never had an argument. She just said, I can't live this down. I was never home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd leave on Monday and come back 2:00 in the morning, leave on Tuesday, come back at 2:00 in the morning, leave on Wednesday, and wouldn't come home till Sunday night, and then start again on Monday. We worked every day.
Do you have
And she
rules?
just didn't like that. And so what happened when we got divorced, I ended up giving her, we had a beautiful home at that time because I was making some money. And the worst thing I've never anticipated was her moving back home here.
Oh.
So she brought the kids back, and they went to Armstrong.
When you decide to be in this
That was
business,
hard because the NWA did not work in Minneapolis. That makes sense.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Like
that was
especially,
AWA.
and the traveling was probably more brutal than it is today because you were wanted, and you were wanted a lot.
We wrestled. I wrestled 425 times a couple of years.
Wow.
Add that up. Twice on Saturday, twice on Sunday, sometimes twice on Wednesday.
What's it like to be home here in Minnesota again?
It's nice. I like it.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of driving around. I'm going, oh my God.
it's
I haven't
changed.
been here since 2008, but I mean, still Minneapolis, clean, nice,
Yeah.
nice people.
Do you miss it at all? I know you're in the warmer climates now, but do you miss the cold at all? Do you miss
No, I
the?
don't miss it at all.
None.
I'm not going to go that far.
Going.
But I always loved Minnesota. My dad, and when I was telling the bartender last night at the Marriott that when I was young, my dad would take me fishing up at like Winnemucca Ocean or like that.
Yeah.
Up on a boat. We could drink the water out of the lake back then in a tin cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do that
No,
now.
no.
Not
Yeah,
now.
we tried
But
that.
Think about that.
Yeah.
That's how clean it was. It was.
Now it's like an energy drink. You're gonna run
Look
away
at
from
this.
the water.
Look at this guy.
I know.
Look,
I mean,
Woo
he's got
energy, baby.
woo energy. Did you,
Mushroom infused.
I'm
The good
dying to
mushroom.
taste it. Oh,
yeah, let me ask you.
mushroom infused?
Mushroom
Yeah.
infused.
Yeah.
What's the I don't know much about mushroom infused.
I don't
What's
either.
the best part of being mushroom infused compared to other ones?
Longer lasting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's no ups and downs, no anxiety. It's just a steady. Time just flies by.
Let's see it.
It's the best way to describe
Look
it.
how so you've got different flavors of it. Were you approached by this, or have you always kind of wanted to take your brand?
No, I was approached.
Okay.
Yep.
And I'm sure you're approached all the time by stuff.
Yep.
Why this and why now?
I don't know, because I'm lucky,
Yeah.
and I make a lot of money with it.
I don't think
More
you
money than I ever made wrestling.
I don't really.
And
I think you
Isn't that
underestimate yourself because you keep going. The words you keep saying are "I'm lucky, I'm lucky, I'm lucky," but the talent that you've displayed obviously has helped you get to where you are. WCW saw it, WWF saw it.
I agree. I'm not downgrading myself at all. But how many people my age, number one, or even in a studio like this with you, like I told the guy at Channel 11.
Yeah.
I'm 74.
Yeah.
That too old for you?
He still got it. He still
Well,
got
it.
it.
I just look at her left hand. She still got it.
Hey, listen. That's what it does.
I bought some stuff at the jewelry stores in this town.
You are wearing a lot of bling.
I can find bling.
The stories you must have are
I got 'em.
insane. And do you? The one I just love the most are the old school days where you wouldn't outdrink him, but he would outdrink everyone. Andre, 106 beers.
Yeah.
Oh,
in
the
one-
giant?
Yeah.
What was it like when the first time you saw him? Because
Well, I
he
drove
was
him
a big
around
man.
from here. He came to Minneapolis,
Hmm.
came from France to Montreal to Minneapolis, and Vern Gagne had me driving Andre around.
Really?
Yeah.
Did people stare? I'm sure they did.
Oh yeah. But when I took him to Chicago, taking him through Rush Street, man, it was a lot.
They're like, who are these two?
I don't know,
Did you-
who is he? And
Did you walk around when you were out and about? Did you walk around in your gear?
Well, yeah. Well, unfortunately, I have a couple times. my wrestling robe, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. When I was a kid, I remember watching, thinking that was my favorite part was what
Yeah.
you guys were wearing. Because
Yeah.
if you're wearing a feather boa, I was all about it. I
I
loved it.
wore them all the time.
You were the first one to really take that style
Mhm.
and say, this is going to be something. I'm going to be a showman. I am going to take this and become a personality. You were the first.
You remember Harley Race?
Yeah, yes.
This is the greatest. I tell this story all the time. So Harley would smoke Marlboros, right?
Yeah.
So when he was doing an interview about me, Harley would go, Flair took Rogers' gimmick to a whole new level.
Did you though? Did you think of that, or was this kind of on your own?
Yeah, you did.
And no, but someone ran it by me. I mean, I felt it, but whether you feel it, it's really important to be, if you're going to be successful in our business, to feel your character.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard to go out and be somebody you're not.
But you've never changed character. I mean, you look at Austin. He was 3 different characters before he became Austin. You were The Rock. You know, he was different characters. Shawn Michaels was a couple different characters. You were the one character from the time you started to now. You know, you didn't change much. Yeah, you did it.
You got to find that niche for yourself.
I did. But I mean, I was right place, right time. There's a lot of good things that have happened to me. And like, you know, I went down to North Carolina. Only reason I knew of North Carolina is I had to learn the capitals to get out of high school in 13 years.
I did.
Which is another favorite. Yeah, 13 years in high school. Glad to have you back another year, Mr. Flair.
Let's talk about your transition again.
But I'd never heard of North Carolina.
WCW. You've done it all: WCW, WWF, WWE, and now AEW. AEW is.
Wait, what does AEW mean?
All elite.
All elite wrestling.
Oh, okay.
And it's great to have the competition. You've done it. You've competed against WCW. You've competed against WWE. You've competed against AEW, and you've been a part of them. Why is competition so healthy for the WWE with AEW?
Well, the thing that I like is more opportunities for more guys that want to wrestle. And the competition is always good, you know. I mean, Tony just dove into this, and obviously with the Khan family and Tony especially, or his father, both. I think his parents are very committed as well. But money wasn't an issue. It's just putting together a business plan and pulling it off, because you go from buying a ring, to now you got 300 people staying over at the Marriott the next 2 days. You know what I mean? And transportation and cars and
an almost sellout crowd,
and guys like this gentleman driving me around town.
It's crazy that AEW was able to compete so well and is able to compete so well because it is. They probably draw more money, not all over, because they haven't been all over that I know of, but in London, they drew the biggest crowd in the history of Wembley Stadium. Really?
Wow.
81,000.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah. That's insane.
And we're going back in August. They'll do it again.
And so where do you see yourself becoming as far as the rest of your career goes? Obviously, the energy drinks, your daughter probably coming to you and saying, hey, Dad, you know, what do I do here? What do I do here? Do you like mentoring more now?
Well, I don't need to mentor. Yeah, she's an adult. If you can survive and be in the main event, which she has been since the day she arrived, in the main event, 14-time world champion.
She's coming close to you.
Yeah, I know. And
does that scare you?
No, not at all. I'd be honored.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I hope either her or Randy Orton. I got a lot of love for Randy Orton too. But to be on top for 10 years, that's so few people can pull that off.
She hears you talking about her.
No, that's one of the nasty boys.
Is it Knobs?
Brian Knobs.
Is it Knobs?
Yes. It really is.
Answer Knobs, yeah.
That's who it is.
That's funny. Oh,
what do you want?
Hey, what's up?
What do you want? I'm on national radio here in Minneapolis.
Very important.
I said, Brian Knobs has called me, and they said, put him on the air.
I love it. Hey, that's where I started. Good old Minnie, baby.
Yeah.
Good old Hamill.
Hey,
Hamill
you got to see the co-host here.
I'm beautiful.
Smoke.
I am very beautiful.
Smoke. Listen, I got to conduct business. I'll call you later on.
Yeah, but it's about that thing, but they don't.
Okay, well, give me a check first. Goodbye. Hey,
Oh, funny.
NLT, I think, is going to take Jerry Rice's spot.
oh, good deal.
Roger Clemens.
I'm in. All right. Love you, buddy. Bye.
I love you. Bye.
How often does that happen to you? How often does that happen to you? These guys just call
I
you.
love Brian, man.
Yeah.
Those guys were the most fun. I mean, unbelievable.
Some of the best attire ever. Their shirts that they would wrestle in,
Yeah.
kind of like the graffiti style shirts.
Yeah.
Some of the best.
Yeah.
I'll be the nerd to ask a sentimental question.
Mhm.
Okay, you're back in AEW
Mhm.
with Sting, Steve Borden, who you've known for literally what, decades, 3-4 decades at this point?
Well, we met in '87.
Okay. So I started watching wrestling. I'm in my late 30s. I probably started watching in the early 90s.
Yeah.
So I remember you and Sting's run back in WCW.
Mhm.
How incredible is it to think about you guys coming full circles at this stage in your career,
It's
this
one of
stage in
those
your
things
life?
that it's one of those things that you just don't want to miss.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that, I mean, number one, how am I still here? Number two, to be able to walk him, to the finish line. 'Cause he's leaving in March, I think. And to be part of that. And I'm sure Tony will make it
Huge.
the most unbelievable ceremony of all time.
Yeah.
It might even be close to my retirement, but
I saw that on OEW on Netflix.
oh yeah.
Did you? OEW is it
OVW?
OVW.
Yeah, with
Al.
Al Snow. Yeah, OVW.
Did you watch the documentary on Netflix yet? OVW, Ohio Valley Wrestling.
No,
Okay, so they go towards the end of Netflix. They go to one of your last matches.
against Shawn Michaels.
Was it? Where
they-
was it at? It was Al Snow came to visit.
Yeah,
It was a smaller match, I think.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but they do show, I think, your match with Shawn Michaels, but then there was one a little bit later on at some point
And
where they're at.
Well, I was 59 then.
That let me tell you what you've done to the career and how long you've lasted. It's an inspiration for people that even aren't in the business and in their own careers. Radio, there's so much competition,
Yeah.
and so for you to be able to be in the one career, stick it out and go through the ups and downs that you have gone through is just remarkable. And the legendary name that you've carried through not only yourself but your family, it's just awesome. And I know we got to let you go because you're such a busy man, but we appreciate you coming in.
I don't think we're
We
escaping, right?
we got to get people to see you tomorrow night at Target Center.
Hopefully
Yeah.
a big turnout. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be. Wrestling's big in this state.
Oh yeah.
It's
of
Vikings
course.
football and wrestling.
If you
Yeah.
ever need Staci to walk you down the aisle tomorrow night, she'll take a
Yeah,
robe
or
and then
at Murray's tonight.
or at Murray's tonight.
All I need is a crown on my head
Yeah.
and some feather
5
boas.
o'clock. I'm sure
I'll
they have
hold the
cocktail hour
card.
there, right?
Is there a card to hold? I don't know.
Yeah. Rick will set you up. Rick, man, we appreciate it.
Thank
and
you guys.
I just want to make sure that people know, again, you can get tickets for All Elite Wrestling. Just go to allelitewrestling.com to get your tickets, AEWtix.com as well. So we want to see you out there. And listen, if you ever need someone to not go in the ring with you, I'm your guy. Because I can't even take a bump. I can't do any of it. But we appreciate you again, Rick.
No, I thank you very much.
There you go. All
Honored
right.
to be here.
The legend, Ric Flair, joining us.